Welcome Dr. Sasmit Patra and all our dignitaries at the head table with a warm round of applause. Once again you all to the GST Samvad consultation in association with the Directorate General for GST. We are here today to discuss some of the, I wouldn't say issues, but challenges. GST consultation today to not discuss issues, but challenges, barriers, and how to ease the entire process of documentation, compliance, getting more clarity, having a seamless process of filing without even having accounting background or finance background, because GST, whenever we talk about GST, it has been viewed as a big elephant in the room, and it's kind of gives you scares. And as entrepreneurs, we want to cross that. We want to accept it as a part of business and how it can seamlessly make your business more efficient and productive. And that's the whole objective. So we are here today to break some of the myths also, decode what GST is, certain terminologies, certain specific issues, and we want to understand it more better. So without further ado, I would like to, as is our tradition, to welcome first of our dignitaries. Can we please welcome Shri Vinayak Chandragupta, Chief Commissioner, CGST Delhi. Let's also welcome Shri Mohammad Irfan Aziz, Commissioner, GST Delhi. May we also welcome Shri Prashant Kumar Jha, Additional Director, DG GST. May I request you to also welcome Dr. Shefali Singh, Director, GST Council. Let's welcome them all with a big round of applause. And let's also welcome Shri from DGGST. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome to all the dignitaries that have chosen to honor us with their presence. Dr. Patra, Mr. Aziz, Shifali ma'am, Jasser. I have this unique distinction of getting three departments of the GST on the same table today. I think it's not happened before as far as our interactions with the government have been. So that itself is a very, very big feat. We've had the GST Council, we have the DG GST and the Commissionerate, all of them here. So, a big applause for that and that they all come together to listen to us.
And that too on a Saturday. So
that tells you, how serious the entire government is, the people in the government are, and how each of them are also looking forward to a situation where they can enable business, they can enable enterprise. And that is precisely the reason why we are here today. There has been a watershed moment in GST. We've had the GST 2.0. And thereafter, a lot of discourse on how it has supported, how it has enabled enterprises, how it has supported demand in the country, and also the fact that we are all looking at a much faster, much more easier system of returns, of compliance and all of that. And at the same time, when we talk to the government, my interaction with the Honorable FM Ma'am last time was very clear: stick to non-GST, and GST you take up with the experts. So she gave me a very patient hearing on a lot of the points, and she said, but it needs to come from the experts that are handling GST, that are doing this GST. Why don't you look at a discourse at the ground level, where all of these points can take seed, germinate, and we can then take it to a level, even if it needs harsh decisions, it's not an issue provided there is support for it on the ground. So, one of the reasons why we organized this GST Samvad in Delhi again after the last one was primarily so we can have the benefit of the presence of the GST Council, representatives also, as well as the DG GST, who are on a daily basis dealing with all of the questions, queries, and all of that. And obviously, you have then the commissionerates at the state level, which are looking at implementation and how to do that. So today, it's, for me also, I keep on getting and receiving and listening to a lot of comments, queries from everybody. So now today it's not just me, but we have an array of dignitaries that are going to listen to all of you, and we will together look at how we can solve majority of the queries that we have or the issues that we have in a very cordial, orderly manner. That is the basic idea of today's Udyog Samvad, specifically on GST. And I'm expecting all of us to orderly make points, not repeat the same point again and again. Pushpati, back to you. We can have the special remarks from Dr. Patra, who I know, his knowledge and understanding of the subject is amazing. Though many of you know he is a professor, so it's supposed to be, but one of the very few people that are professors but are very practical in their approach, in their understanding of subjects, and that's why we've had this distinct privilege of hosting him again and again, because we feel.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all the distinguished colleagues on the dais here, Mr. Kumar, everyone. Firstly, many thanks for inviting me for this GST Samvad. Vinodji, when he was speaking about me, I wish my wife was here. I would have had a very better lunch today. But the fact happens is, I am but a toddler in this field of GST or for any other field. And the reason is, when GST was about to come in, and there were many, and I speak from a perspective of parliament and politics. So we all had our own impressions and our own drama relating to GST. Somebody called it Gabbar Singh tax, somebody called it some other tax. But after almost a decade and more into GST, the fact that it has simplified our lives is a reality. Having said that, has it done enough? Yes. Can it do more? Yes. So I'll not take much of your time because the experts are here, the senior officials are here, who deal with it time and again, and you have your very practical lived experiences. All I would say is, when I meet people across the country on areas related to GST, one concern that people have, whether it's the MSME sector or otherwise, is the cost of doing GST. How much do we spend in a year in order to do GST? And secondly, I am a very good entrepreneur relating to an MSME product. Should I also worry too much about GST or rather focus on my innovations and my products and services? So I believe all of us here are not chartered accountants or lawyers or cost accountants. We are here as entrepreneurs who do different services. So primarily GST needs to answer us 2 or 3 things and help improve our lives in probably these 3 parameters. 1, if I'm spending 100 rupees today or in a year on GST, can that 100 rupees come down to 50 rupees? And if it can, then how? Second, if I'm having a demand notice coming from GST or an ad hoc notice coming from GST, it sends a flutter down my heart. When that email arrives and you see GST, the first thing you open and say, God, please forgive me for all my sins. I hope nothing wrong has happened with me. Let me live by it. Once I find yes, then I have to again run around and try to do that. And third, can we build more trust into the system so that I spend the maximum time? If in a year I spend 15 hours on GST, can it come down to 5 hours? So if I can do these 3 things, my life is better, my entrepreneurial journey is faster, and probably I can focus on what I do best with my products and services than focusing on the ease of doing business through GST. Having said that, let me conclude, and I'll not take a longish thing and leave the experts to handle it. We must credit the government for what it has done. Though I'm an opposition party member of parliament in this room, and I don't have colleagues from the government to kind of come to their aid, but I must be very fair to the government that the last 10, 12 years that we have seen, whether it's GST 1.0, 2.0, and so on and so forth, there has been a consistent effort in actually trying to use it as an ease of doing business. Can we do better? Yes, and that's why we are all here. And finally, I'll just close that sometimes when we also keep on berating the GST regime at times when we get a stick, that we could have more trust. But with all due regards, I am also privy to so many examples where this trust has been broken. Not by you, but by many unscrupulous people who use this trust to perpetuate GST fraud. And then our commissioners, our directors, they are called in by the ministry and said, how are you not able to stop this fraud? So please also get into their shoes and understand that while they want to open it up for you and you are genuine, how can we actually have a ground where we are able to probably differentiate on this trust factor? I'll stop here and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I asked for their feedback that how should we go about? Do we make it very, very formal and should we do speeches? Or should we get into deliberation and then we, address the gathering? So I believe there was consensus on that we should start with the deliberation first. We start with few introductions and questions that we have gathered. And thereafter, we could address them one by one if there are answers straight away, or we will listen to all the concerns and that would be addressed in the speeches towards the end of this consultation. So, Vinod sir, I'm going to pass on the baton to you to start conducting and moderate this entire deliberation, sir.
Sure, thank you, ma'am. So let us say we go by challenges, and we create a set of challenges from the feedback that we received on the email till yesterday afternoon. So we are talking about the numbers. Most of us know the numbers. We have 7.16 crore micro, small, medium enterprises in India, which are employing 31 crore people as per the latest Udyam data. This is the latest number. The last time we were at 6.4 when we met. So it's growing. There's a lot of hard work that's going in there. So, but we have the other side of it where we're only talking about 1.48 crore people that are actually listed on GST. So there's a big number of people that are not part of GST yet, who are not able to understand, maybe they do understand the benefit of the input tax credit, but are not able to take the decision of registering for whatever reason. So how can we get them on board? We are talking about the tax framework, which has simplified the entire taxation landscape. We still are talking about some of the issues relating to registration. We still have cases where the fact is that registration has now become extremely simpler, but we still have people that are writing to us about problems with registration. So, all the people on the tables that have points to talk about registration, I welcome each one of you. Please state your name.
Our two organizations, one of the state in Delhi and one of the state in Haryana. We will border on Delhi and border on Haryana. तो एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट हमें हरियाणा में लगाना था, तो उसके लिए हमें पहले रजिस्ट्रेशन हमारा दिल्ली में है, बट हम हरियाणा में लगाने के लिए हमें डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करने के लिए हमने जब दूसरा स्टेप लिया कि हमें वहाँ पर करना है, तो हमें एक सेकंड जीएसटी लेना पड़ेगा बिकॉज ऑफ स्टेट। तो उस प्रोसेस में हमारा ये रहा कि हमने जब रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए डाला तो फर्स्टली ये हुआ कि एक तो पहले से प्रोप्राइटरशिप पे वो चल रही है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, और सेकेंडली सेम डॉक्यूमेंटेशन से जब हम डाल रहे हैं तो वो प्रोसेस हमारा कंप्लीट ही नहीं हुआ, जो कि हमने सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट डाले हुए।
तो अभी भी पेंडिंग है वो?
अभी भी पेंडिंग।
कितने महीने हो गए?
1 महीने नहीं, उसको लगभग 3 महीने से ज़्यादा हुई।
3 महीने से हो। कितनी बार आप सीए से बात की, कुछ हुआ उसके बाद?
अभी तो कुछ नहीं।
तो आपके सीए क्या बोल रहे हैं?
वो प्रोसेस है,
बोल रहे प्रोसेस।
ठीक। लेकिन अगर हम एक ही कंट्री में रहते हैं तो सिर्फ 10 किलोमीटर में हम जाने के बाद हम 2 बार क्यों रजिस्ट्रेशन कर रहे हैं? दिस इज द चैलेंज फॉर द बिजनेस।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। यस
Very related question, and this will also address another point. There is a problem with municipal agencies in India. There are varied works that are under municipal agencies. Can you hear me? Yes. Very good afternoon. My name is Amit Agarwal. I am from a company called DSM Robotics. Incidentally, accidentally, we are India's first indigenous robotics company. With that small introduction, sir, my query is, or my concern is, that we are working as an environmental agency, environmental engineering agency, and these in robotics, using robotics for municipal works as well as some industrial works. Now, what happens is these municipal agencies, they have varied taxation laws. I mean, they are in some states for the same work they have 0 GST. In some states it is 12%, some states it's 18%. It's extremely inconsistent and very difficult for companies like us to manage across. So what happens is in many cases when we are submitting the GST, so I'll come to the registration part. So before I go into the, hello, it's echoing. Okay. So what happens is that municipal agencies are asking us for registration because of this reason, that because of different taxation laws, categories, they are asking us for registration in different states. So for an organization, as he very rightly said, why should I get registered in 24 states when GST was supposed to make it one nation, one tax? Okay, why do I have to go and register in Gujarat if I want to work for the municipality of Surat or Ahmedabad? And why do I have to have an office in let's say Delhi or Madhya Pradesh simply because I want to work for one of those municipalities? And the business is quite, it's not that like I'm working for like 100 crores project. Okay, we are working for a few crores project. It does not make any sense. Getting an office, registering it locally, it's too much time. That is the concern, sir. And a related concern, as I was talking earlier, that because of this different taxation, we are sometimes not sure what tax will be applied. Now these municipalities ask us for inclusive tax. Okay, so sometimes at one place you're working for let's say 12%, one place 18%, right? Another place 0%. So it's difficult to give a consistent costing. And when we give a costing, nobody cares about the GST in municipal council, in municipal these bodies. They say that at one place your price was 1,000 rupees for let's say unit price, and another place why are you saying 1,200, for example. So they always come down to pricing, and it is a cost for us. That's it.
सर नमस्कार सर, मैं एक ई कॉमर्स एक्सपोर्टर हूँ। मैं और मेरी वाइफ दोनों ई कॉमर्स एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं। हमारा बिजनेस इस तरह से होता है कि अलग अलग एड्रेस की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए, मतलब काम करने के लिए, लेकिन रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए अलग एड्रेस मांगा जाता है। अब हम एक ही ऑफिस में बैठते हैं, तो रेंट एग्रीमेंट हमने दोनों कंपनियों के नाम पे करवा है, लेकिन वो हमारे अप्रूव नहीं होते क्योंकि एड्रेस सेम है। लेकिन प्रैक्टिकली मुझे उसी ऑफिस से काम करना है। दो कंपनी मुझे इसलिए चलानी है क्योंकि ई कॉमर्स एक्सपोर्ट में आईडी होते हैं, तो अलग अलग जीएसटी में हम आईडी रन करते हैं। कोई आईडी अगर कभी डाउन हो जाए तो दूसरा आईडी मेरा चलता है। उस पर्पज से मुझे दो जीएसटी चाहिए होते हैं, एक मेरे नाम पे, एक मेरी वाइफ के नाम पे। लेकिन हम एक एड्रेस यूज नहीं कर सकते उसके लिए, जबकि रेंट एग्रीमेंट हमारे पास दो है। तो इस समस्या का क्या समाधान है सर? इसके लिए बड़ी परेशानी रहती है।
तो मेजर Yatin Nandre, I work in Farmlet. Farmlet company that deals in dry fruits are. तो बेसिकली हम ड्राई फ्रूट्स खरीदते हैं, उसको प्रोसेस करके कस्टमर को देते हैं। जैसे अगर मेजर जो प्रोडक्ट है हमारे, रोस्टेड आलमंड्स, रोस्टेड मखाना, तो सर हमें रजिस्ट्रेशन रिलेटेड जो इशू है, वैसे तो इश्यूज थोड़े काफ़ी आ रहे हैं जीएसटी में, तो जो एक रजिस्ट्रेशन से रिलेटेड इशू है, जैसे सपोज करो एडिशनल प्लेस ऑफ बिजनेस हम ऐड करते हैं, राइट सर, प्रॉपर डॉक्यूमेंट। तो सर जैसे उनका टैग होता है 15 डेज का, तो अब हमें 4th डे 5th डे में हम पूछते हैं कि सर इसको अब कर दीजिए, अब ये थोड़ी है कि 15 डेज में ही होगा। तो सर वो बोलते हैं भाई नहीं, अभी 15 दिन है, 15 दिन से पहले हमें पूछें इस चीज़ के लिए। तो सर अगर मैं आज 1 तारीख को मतलब रजिस्ट्रेशन मतलब जाल रहा हूँ, मेरा जनरेट हो रहा है, तो हम 15 दिन तक वेट क्यों करें? अगर हम रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं ऑन अ कॉल, जो कस्टमर केयर कॉल है जीएसटी का, तो 15 दिन क्यों? मतलब अगर हमें जल्दी चाहिए तो वो अगर हमारी चेकिंग पहले कर सकते हैं और कोई डॉक्यूमेंट इशू है तो वो रिजेक्शन डाल सकते हैं, जिससे कि हम अब हमें सर कोई डॉक्यूमेंट तो हमने डाला, अब कोई एरर आए तो 15 दिन बाद आएगा, और 15 दिन से फिर फाइलिंग करेंगे, फिर 15 दिन बाद आएगा। तो सर ऐसे ही हमारे 30 डेज से 45 डेज की सेल का नुकसान हुआ है, क्योंकि हम स्टोर कर नहीं सकते एडिशनल प्लेस ऑफ जो अपनी है जगह, तो जब प्लेस ही नहीं कर सकेंगे वहाँ पे गुड्स, तो सर फिर सेल क्या करेंगे? तो सर ऐसे हमारे अक्रॉस स्टेट में ये चैलेंजेस आ रहे हैं और मतलब बहुत इशू है।
If we can if we can work for 15 days based on that registration, irrespective of the outcome of the registration, that could help, because then even if the APOB registration is delayed, we will still be able to run our business in that time, because we have taken the warehouse on rent. We have started paying rent for that warehouse, but we cannot use it because APOB has not come.
Suggestion is basically for allowing a provisional registration, sir. Once you file an application, then if you find that there is something untoward, ask for paper, or you can then cancel it or whatever. You know, that was the earlier system.
My experience is a little different actually. The field.
Absolutely. Any more? Yes.
My name is Anita Patra and I am in the splitting business. What I see is it's said that if you have a turnover of 20 lakh, now it is 40 lakh, then only you require a GST number. But I don't feel that that's a myth totally, because no one gives us the order. If I have to procure bulk order, then you must have GST number. What is this, sir? So I want clarification on that. Thank you. Buyer or supplier, any importer or it's like bulk, who's buying bulk. Thank you.
I have a certified tanning partner. I have a question like whenever I just go to the login to the GST portal for return filing and other thing is that it asking for all the time eKYC verification. When I just go for the verification through the Aadhaar card, it basically rejected that. I don't know what is basically the reason, but I have the same address since I've taken the GST. Rejected means that it's not approving that there is some kind of mismatches over there. But there is not any such kind, no mismatches there because I've taken the GST number and defaults were put on Saturday.
Hi sir, my name is Shay. I'm from Skillfire. We are into export of IT services. And to share my initial registration phase with GST, we set up an organization, private limited organization with MCA. We got the registration for ETF and PSI as part of the package of the MCA. But with GST, we had a delay in terms of setting up, filing up for GST registration, and then someone would visit our premises, and then, the general in terms of, we face that whenever someone from GST comes to our property for verification, you would have to pay them something, and then, our process would get verified. Apart from paying, you would not see a GST certification coming in a, faster time frame. But I think that process has evolved now. My friends recently registered for GST last week, and I was surprised to see that, they applied for a GST in within 24 hours, they got their GST registration without someone coming to their premises. So this is a huge, point of appreciation for the department here that, you don't have to pay anything, nobody is coming to our premises right after registration, and we could set up faster. So, I would like to congratulate you on this achievement over there. And coming to my question for the registration, the challenge that we face over here is that a lot of platforms on which you want to register, a lot of platforms where you would want to sign up as a verification component. You would want to share your GST with them, but at the same time, you don't fall into that category in terms of having different codes in terms of for the export of their services, and they want you to have those specific registration under that specific categories, and that is a difficult task in terms of making sure that you have a GST registration on the same codes that they want. So if this process could be made simplified just in a way that you auto approve those requests, and if you need any further verification or documents, then you can reject it, or put it under the method to re-verify it instead of holding the process. Just like my friend said that 15 days is a time frame for you to approve this. Is it possible that it can be auto approved by default, and then you can come back to us later for any queries and kind of re-verify and have some faith in terms of a business enterprise, in terms of they being honest and putting up codes to facilitate their business. Thank you very much.
Anybody else on the registration front?
Very good morning to all of you. Myself, Neema Pandey from Policy Bioworks. Just adding to his point, I have a very bad experience with the GST officer. Even though we are a startup incubated at IIT Delhi, and when I myself applied for the GST number, after verification of all the documents and everything, I got my GST. I received a message from GST team that this is your number. But he chased me for 15 days. He told that I want to come to visit your place and have a photograph. I said, yes, you can come. He came and he just started asking money, very openly. Then I said, you go and cancel my GST number. I'll just complain to the IT team. They will take care of all those things. So it's very embarrassing to handle such inspectors in GST team. So I just wanted to highlight this issue. Thank you.
Finally, got his photograph or not?
Yes. Actually, I complained in Chandigarh office to the senior people. They took cognizance of this matter, and then he apologized.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Any of my friends that still want to talk about the GST registration?
I just want to add one thing in respect of MAP. Because the same thing verification, the person comes down to me, officer comes down to my office place to verify input credit taken by the party. and the input credit taken by the party is only 648 rupees. And he asked me about all kind of document in respect of say billing and all, and I verify all the addresses and all. He said that all the document are the fake. This is not the valid for the GST registration number. So he also just took some money from myself.
Okay. That, there are a few black sheep, and the problem is the entire system gets burdened with their deeds. And it is important for each one of us to realize that every time we give in to one such request, we are not doing the right thing. We need to stop paying money. We need to stop. You see, we have very serious officers that are quite serious about the entire thing. And they will not allow this. The fact that you are talking about a transition to a faceless taxation system, the reason is this. And even after that, somebody is coming and harassing, I think we all know the routes that we have to take. It is high time we stop giving it into this black thing.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, if you don't pay them, then department will charge. My registration was stuck for 15, 20 or 30 days, I don't remember. But I had to pay money as a penalty to GST department. I paid to department, but I didn't pay to any tax office person in Bretton Noida.
That's why, sir. So, at least the department, the government of India means it is coming back to us somehow.
Department should not charge, sir. I was at no more.
I got you. But what I'm saying is it's better than paying an individual.
Yeah.
You pay to the government and invite your penalty.
Just to put it in my perspective, I beg apology. I have something at 12 because I keep on jumping every 1 hour somewhere, trying to be the jack of all trades, master of absolutely nothing. But may I suggest to Vinod sir, you have got different segments. So what I would suggest is you probably allocate time. Say that this segment will end in 30 minutes or 40 minutes. And then you allocate saying that the questions will be for 15 minutes. The answers, otherwise what will happen is that you will spend more time on 1 or 2 sections. And because the experts are here, I think it would be wonderful to actually get more of their insights. Because our problems can be many. But if we can get these 2 or 3 quick modules come together, it will be quicker and we can add much more value. And as for me, I'm always with the SME Forum and every one of you. Whenever you feel like I need to raise issues in Parliament, I'm very happy to do that. Vinod sir always in touch with me, ma'am is in touch with me. So please convey your thoughts. I'll be very happy to take it up. I do write op-eds. So if there are issues that you want me to write on, to publish, speak about, I'll be very happy to do that. I'm a friend and a colleague on this journey. So wish you all the best. Thank you so much. And apologies once again.
Thank you very much, sir.
Registration process and all those things. First and foremost, I will tell you that the registrations, the law says that registration has to be given within 7 days. If it's 7 days is not approved, then it's a deemed approved. Okay. Until unless some of the registrations are picked up for the site verification, premise verification. You are saying that some of them all are not saying. One of your participant has said it had been approved within 24 hours because system has not picked up for that registration for on the basis of risk parameter that these premises, this resident needs to be premises needs to be verified. There is no control on the field officers to select any registrations for the premise verification until unless it is selected by the systems. Madam is there, she is from GSTN. She may upload. GST council. Okay, right, no issue. तो ये मैं बता रहा था जिसका 7 days में और now the rules has further been simplified कि this with the first published or late to be published हो गया ना 1st December 1st October 1st November where the 7 days has been reduced to 3 days. 3 days, right? So we are, but only thing is that what you have said, some of them you have said there is a black mole which unscrupulous people who take the registrations, does the lots of transaction, fake invoicing, passing of the input credit, crores of rupees. So and the transaction is so voluminous. We have to be government has to be very worried for those such type of persons to detect us. So that's why the risk parameter is there, right? Whoever comes for the second question, whoever comes for the purpose of verifications, please, what your Vinod ji has said, please don't, if things are fine, don't come under pressure. Please escalate to your senior officers. If there is a delay, there is a provision of CP Gram, where grievance portal is there, which is being monitored by the Prime Minister office itself, where every grievances has to be answered within the specified timeline to every grievance raising person, whether it's a businessman or common person. So please use that platform, or if you don't want to meet the senior officers for the purpose of asking any officers to. Third is that I think so you should have basically, you should have invited the state GST officers also in this forum, so that because the GST is implemented not by the center, but say 50% tax goes to the resident, goes to the state also. So if some of the misdeed which my counterpart is coming from their side, then I cannot be able to answer on their behalf. We cannot be able to answer. So multiple registration in each state, one of the colleagues said, it is the you have to always see how the GST has come with so much of deliberations with different stakeholders, especially the state has given up their power and fiscal autonomy they have given up, and the taxation which they sales tax VAT they were collecting earlier. So every state so the registration in each state has come from that mandate purpose. Otherwise, since the levy collection of the taxes, which has been, it's a convention-based tax as you all know. So where the convention has taken place, if it's the registrations of that state can help us to consolidate the tax revenue of which has to be accrued to that state and should go to that state itself. So with that concept only the registration in each state has come up. The number which you have shown here 1.48 crore of GST registrations, this includes multiple registrations. Very good. So right. So 7.16 crore of MSME if we are talking about, these are there. They are the individual MSME. It's not that the individual. So even that if you check the 1.48 crore registrations, multiple registrations remove, it will be much lesser than number will be much lesser than that. So that is our fiscal autonomy, which you can say where the state has compromised. With that we have to deal with that. Earlier if you see that how many number of taxation was there, that has reduced to the single taxations. So it is a big relief for everyone, not for us also and for you also. So you have to deal with that first thing. Second is that there is whatever the difficulty you are facing, we are there to solve it out. If it's a technical glitch on account of which your registration, some of the registration is not passing through that. So I will suggest once when you apply for the registration, please give your email ID and mobile number. Don't leave it on the CA consultant that their mail ID and mobile number should be used in that. If they require, they will ask you the OTP. Please share with them. Otherwise, any information which is shared by GST department will not be available to you. You have to be dependent on them. This is the problem which I have faced. I am saying with the practical experience. Many times your consultant, some of the people has come forward, they are trying to blackmail them. They are asking so much money. One of the participants said that there is an error coming. I don't know what type of error you are getting. Have you got? If you have given your message, you will find it out whether the error has been already transmitted to you or not. If they will say, okay, we have filed it, but actually they have not filed, then how will you come to know? Right? So these are the practical things. I will say, please use your mobile or email ID. Second thing, if there is any error due to which your registration is not passing through, please ensure that through your consultant whether the complaint has been lodged with the helpline. The mail ID is there already. Your screenshot you have to take and raise the complaint. They have to give within the time bound manner. They have to respond to you. So that is there is set protocol, right? So otherwise there are many people who takes the money from you, they will take the money from you and will not provide you with the proper service and blame that this is system fraud. That may be on account of they themselves being overloaded with the work, right? Municipality and multiple one question was that regarding municipality having different rate of taxes.
Various municipalities
Having different rate of taxes.
rates for the same work.
So I will suggest that in that case they should go for the advanced. That will be the best course to avoid the
GST 2.2 that has already rate has been already nationalized. So the 7% no longer there. So you have only 5%, 18%. Even if you are facing the problem, you can always go for advance ruling. And before going for advance ruling also, you can just write to the ministry. Yeah, you can write to the council also, and we will try to answer you in the better way. So your both options are there. You can always escalate your issues.
Yeah. So regarding the rent agreement, what we see is should be the proper rent agreement where the many cases your applications may have seen many applications are getting rejected by the officer because the rent agreement there is a mismatch of address. What the address you have given in your GST registration form, rent agreement shows different address or there is some missing third floor you have written in your listing, but rent agreement doesn't mention third floor. So whatever is there in the rent agreement, same should reflect in your application or vice versa. Right? There should not be any mismatch with the whatever the document you are uploading, vis-a-vis what you have filled in the application form while taking the registration. Please ensure if that is there, then there will not be any question of rejection. Secondly, documents which you are uploading, please ensure that should be legible, properly legible. It should not be hazy or something like that. यदि आप मोबाइल से लोगे तो आपका कभी-कभी दिक्कत होता है to scan through the proper scanner. It will not, that problem will not. So and officer asking additional documents, it's a totally not required and it's a totally strictly clarified to the information the additional documents need not be asked. They will and this situation will not arise if you will submit the documents in proper format, ensuring what I have already told you should match with the whatever you are filling. Then again, one of the question was that regarding GST registrations, asking GST supplier buyer and supplier. Right. Even though it's they are temporarily giving exemption. But if someone wants to avail the benefit of passing the credit, they can, and the supplier insists, buyer insists, I want the GST bill so that we can take the input tax credit on the taxes paid by you. In that case, it's your business demand which you have to oblige as per the buyer requirement. And in that case, GST department is not forcing you to take the registration. It's your business call, which you have to choose whether I have to take registration in facilitating expanding my business for getting better clients or not. Right. Next one question was regarding the additional verification, additional place of business. and then delay in registration and your work is getting stuck, right? So in my, what we have noticed that many of the people, many of the taxpayers are running their place without registering even the additional places. Right? So we once you have applied, once you have already taken GST registration, now you have doing it, you have taken some premises on additional premises on rent or your own premises, whatever that you have applied it. So it's a process of approval, but with, it doesn't prevent you to conduct your, right? You can very much conduct. We are not that much of fussy. You know, until unless there is approval, you cannot carry out. You have already applied. You have declared that this is the actual place of business. That intent is clear. From that date, your work may start. But since you have already registered.
Sir, for that, is there a possibility of getting any auto approval done if it is a APO? 7 days.
Until unless it is picked up by system.
And this is all risk based only. If the risk is very less than 3 days, T plus 2 is done.
I have a question. As I was concerned, I'm from Gurpur today. So like sir was telling about APOP, now we just come to know that there is a biometric thing is being happening at the state level. So we are willing to spend to other states as well, like Assam and all, but we have to visit over there for the biometric thing. So is it seen as a feasible thing for a small sellers to travel to each and every state, get registered over there? And if something is being happening, then they have to travel again. Like I'm based out of Delhi. If I have to go to 10 or 15 days to Assam or to West Bengal or to Karnataka, so rather focusing on my business, I have to focus on these. So I just want some impact from you on this.
Biometric thing is not mandatory.
So at the director level, for any registration, any of the states like Assam, Punjab, we have to go over there to the GST office and get ourselves registered over there through biometric. So that is the thing. Or either something like it would be a centralized thing that I am registered in Delhi, they will have my biometric done over here, and it would be for to each and every state, since it is the same department.
See, I want to told you, it's risk-based AI driven. Once your biometric has been taken, and it is already, the system has given you low score, so it will be low score everywhere. Okay, so this is one thing. So if you're going for Haryana and you're going for Assam, even if you don't opt for biometric also, it will show that there is low score. So you have only 7 days, it will be issued in 7 days, without biometric also. But since you have already raised it, I'll note it down and bring it notice of GST. Once biometric is done, it should be done for all Indians. So here's the question.
So regarding the registration, I have a different question regarding the father. He expired 4 years ago and we applied for cancellation. It has not been done and they are only asked for money.
Excuse me, can you repeat this?
So there were 2 companies in the name of my father who expired 4 years ago and we applied for cancellation. In 4 years they have not done the cancellation part. They are still asking for money. So what do we do?
Yeah, so I'll come to the bribe part. This is part of the bribe only. So I will speak on bribe.
I have given you another option. I told you that you should file CT come. Right? आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन किसमें स्टेट है या सेंट्रल? नहीं, दिल्ली में कौन स्टेट जुडिक्शन में या सेंट्रल जुडिक्शन?
State.
State jurisdiction. That's why I told you to take the state offices.
Now in this case also, if you write a mail to us, we take it up with the state GST, our counterpart in GST. I have done it. I am the commissioner of GST Delhi West. Wherever we get a complaint and we found that registration pertains to state GST, without waiting for you to approach to them, we approach them on your behalf, and we are doing it and we are successfully doing it. They are responding very well. I mean, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I got a message called registration got stuck, and I checked and found that the state GST. And I spoke to one of my officer. He passed the information to the state GST, and within 2 days it is been done. So, if you are having this problem, you can always escalate to central GST also. Please write a mail to us. We'll take care of with them.
Thank you so much. Thank you. When it comes to a common working place, for example, in say there is a concept of common working place, and if two different entrepreneurs have the same shared place, then what are the rules? The clarity around on the rules that they will be, of course, having the same address, same floor, maybe same room. Then what are the rules that within that same rules, but two different entrepreneurs can same address?
Yes, they can have. They can have.
But risk parameter increases.
So when we are billing the end consumer, what do we bill? Is it the hardware or the product? Or should there be also a service component in it that should be put in place from point one? Because majority of the products that today you see, whether it's appliances, there is a certain feature of service automatically attached to it. So it is not just pure play service, neither is it pure play product or merchandise. So there is a lot of confusion on people, when we are doing accounting, whether it is, I should take the value of the product as 100 minus 40 and 60 is the value of the product and 40 is service, or should I bill it separately under two separate heads and then say this is a service contract and this is the product sale. So lot of ambiguity around that.
Basically, what I feel that it's a business safe power. How do you want to deal with the same product comes to you? You want to purchase a TV and sell 1 year or 2 years back. Warranty component is a lesser, suppose value is less as compared to product, and rate difference is there. Services is a suppose 18% or product is 28% or something like that. So it's a, and if you are able to split that one, well and good, GST department has no problem.
अब देखिए जैसे आपने बोला कि मैंने टीवी खरीदा जिस पे मान लीजिए 28% का टैक्स है और जब मैं उसको बेच रहा हूँ तो पूरे का पूरे मेरे सर्विस कंपोनेंट पे भी 28% का टैक्स लग रहा है, जबकि होना 18% चाहिए।
आईफोन आप लेते हैं तो आईफोन तो एक साल का वारंटी है, आपको एक ही ले लिया, लेकिन अगर आपने एक्स्ट्रा वारंटी लिया है तो उसका अलग चार्ज लेता है, लेकिन उसका वो आपके बिल में दिखाएगा वो और उसका अलग से चार्ज लेगा।
नॉर्मल सेल टू एवरी पर्सन इज नॉट डूइंग, अभी हर एक को आप उसी ढंग से सेल कर रहे हो, तो स्टैंडर्डाइज है कि हम एक्सेप्टेबल चौके इसमें 1 ईयर वारंटी के साथ कंपोनेंट बेचा जा रहा है, लेकिन व्हाट माय कलीग हैज ऑलरेडी सेड कि उसका एडिशनल यदि 2 साल का कोई ऑप्ट कर रहा है तो एडिशनल सर्विस।
So I have a question regarding VR and the electronic waste segment. So as said, so जैसे हम प्रोडक्ट परचेज करते हैं तो हम क्या सर्विस देने के लिए शॉप पे जाते हैं, जैसे क्रोमा हो गया अदर थिंग, तो हमने AC परचेज किया तो एक्सचेंज में कस्टमर पुराना AC देगा, ठीक है, तो उसमें अटैच होगा, तो उस पर GST अगर हम 18% लगाते हैं तो रिटेलर चाहता है मैं क्यों पे करूँ GST 18%, वो चाहता है कि ठीक है मैं कैश में डील करूँ।
like double taxation के बारे में, मतलब it's not related to bundle services, but double taxation in my point of view is like हम शेयर ट्रेडिंग करते हैं, तो उसमें हम इनकम टैक्स पे करते हैं आपको, तो उसके ऊपर भी आपने GST चार्ज कराओ 18%. I think this should be worked upon. इनकम टैक्स में सर GST हम शेयर ट्रेडिंग करते हैं, अगर हम इंट्राडे कर रहे हैं, लॉन्ग टर्म कर रहे हैं या शॉर्ट टर्म कर रहे हैं, तो उसको ऑलरेडी GST जुड़कर आता है, उसके ऊपर भी हम फिर इनकम टैक्स भी पे कर रहे हैं. So when we are already paying income taxes on that thing.
GST आप पे कर रहे हो ना, तो आपका जो ब्रोकरेज है उस पर लग रहा है.
ओके.
एक क्या होता है सिक्योरिटी ट्रांजैक्शन टैक्स.
यस सर.
उसमें शायद कोई किसी ने यही भी फेंक दिया.
एंड सर एक सोल्यूशन और चाहिए था आपसे कि जो जब GST 2017 में आया था, उससे पहले अगर कोई फर्म होती थी तो पेरेंट्स अपने बच्चों को फर्म ट्रांसफर कर सकते थे, लेकिन जब से GST आया तो प्रोप्राइटर फर्म कैन नॉट बी ट्रांसफर्ड. अगर फादर को कुछ हो जाता तो उसको फर्म बंद करनी पड़ती है, तो वो गुडविल और वो इज्जत कमाने में उसको वापस उतना टाइम पीरियड चाहिए, तो उसके लिए क्या मतलब GST से हमें क्या सपोर्ट मिल सकता है कि फर्म एज इट इज ट्रांसफर हो जाए.
देखो अलग चीज है, आपका फर्म का नाम गोविंद चंद एंड सन्स है ना. गोविंद चंद एंड सन्स एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर नॉट रजिस्टर्ड दिख रहा है तो उसको चेंज करा सकते हो, लेकिन गोविंद चंद एंड सन्स का प्रोप्राइटर यदि मिस्टर गोविंद थे और उसके डेथ होने के बाद वो मिस्टर किशन चंद हो गया प्रोप्राइटर, तो भाई पैन नंबर तो अलग हो गया. हमारा तो GST आपका जो पैन नंबर बेस्ट है, इसीलिए वहाँ रजिस्ट्रेशन सरेंडर, लेकिन आपका ब्रांड नेम बदलेगा, नहीं बदलेगा, वही नंबर लेकर के नाम को लेकर के कर सकते हो. नाम तो नहीं रहेगा, देखिए आप लोग जितने GST नंबर बदलेगा, GST नंबर क्यों बदलेगा प्रोसेस.
I would request all our India SME Forum will continue to do so. We will be sharing our learnings, recommendations and suggestions with your offices, and